Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. You know, not many wrestling fans even remember that Jack Swagger was once WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But everyone, including Justin Bieber, knows that former WWE Champion Seth Rollins found himself injured last November in a match at a house show in Dublin, Ireland. After the injury, it was estimated he'd be out 6 to 9 months, meaning that he should be coming back anytime in the next few months. While it's July at the latest, many speculate that he could be recovering faster than expected. The injury that Rollins suffered was a torn ACL, MCL, and medial meniscus in one of his knees when he landed awkwardly. While his return is inevitable, the question still remains of just what WWE will do with him when he comes back. Therefore, today we present you with 10 ways WWE should book Seth Rollins' return. Number 1. Babyface transformation. Seth Rollins is loved by the internet wrestling community. They've even gone so far as to dub him CrossFit Jesus, as the man is a prolific CrossFitter. Rollins has a beautiful high-flying moveset that you'd typically associate with a good guy. We've even heard Eddie chants when he did a frog splash on John Cena during the Night of Champions pay-per-view. It's also common practice for an injured star to come back as a babyface unless they were really hated, and let's face it, Seth Rollins could be babyface at the drop of a hat with the right booking. People loved by the crowd almost always end up as babyfaces. Just look at your 2-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, The New Day. They rock! If Seth Rollins wants to come back as a major babyface, all he has to do is soak in the pop he'll get when his music hits, deliver a babyface promo thanking the fans for their support, and hit some of those beautiful moves that only he can do. Number 2. Shield reunion. We'll admit that it won't be all that easy to pull this off, but people have been clamoring for a Shield reunion for quite a while now. Roman Reigns could probably do with the help getting over too. He was over huge as a member of the Shield, but everything fell apart when he was put out there on his own. On the other hand, it would take some clever booking to explain why Dean Ambrose should forgive Seth, but WWE could definitely pull it off if they wanted to. Dean Ambrose hasn't been up to too much since the Shield broke up either. He's been in some high-profile matches for sure, but he's always been a bridesmaid and never a bride. For whatever reason, the WWE see him as a popular guy they can call on if needed, but will never really run with him. He would benefit from a Shield reunion just as much as the other two guys would. The time may be right for that reunion. Number 3. Return of Mr. Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins saved last year's WrestleMania when he made history by becoming the first man to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase during a match at the grandest stage of them all. Seth Rollins will be back just in time for Money in the Bank if he comes back a little early, as it's the June network special. Admittedly, this is one of the less likely outcomes though, as he runs the risk of injuring himself again, and he may not be back in time. Seth has a lot of experience at playing the Mr. Money in the Bank character effectively. He wouldn't be the first guy to win the briefcase twice, or even 2 years in a row. If he paces himself well in the match and doesn't take too many risks, he could easily become a 2-time Money in the Bank winner. After winning the briefcase, whether he plays a babyface or a heel, wrestling fans would certainly accept him. Number 4. Backstab Triple H. One way to definitively put Rollins over as a babyface would be by pitting him against the King of Kings, Triple H. Seth used to be Triple H's guy, and then as soon as Rollins was injured, he was cast aside and forgotten. How often did the cerebral assassin mention Rollins? Not once after his initial speech when the title was vacated. There are already rumors that Seth Rollins may be the one who finally ends the authority angle and ousts Triple H and Stephanie for good. You could bring him back as a heel in that case, have him join back up with Triple H in order to beat Roman Reigns, and then Seth turns on the authority like he turned on the Shield, and we see a reunion of the Hounds of Justice. Some of these ideas just work well together, never mind individually. Number 5. Battle for the Throne. Seth Rollins is a super popular guy among both the casual and hardcore fans. Casual fans love him for his high-flying ability and love to watch him in the ring. The hardcores love that, sure, but they also love how great he is on the mic. Seth Rollins belongs in the main event. When he comes back, he could be put straight into the title picture with no one batting an eye. He never did lose the title belt after all. He wasn't beaten for it, so he's got a legitimate claim to a title match. It definitely won't take Seth Rollins long to Phoenix Splash his way back into the main event when he does come back. Seth should be back just in time to main event SummerSlam for the title. You can't argue with that timing. Number 6. Feud with AJ Styles. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins have similar in-ring styles. Both of them enjoy doing spectacular high-flying moves and hit quick and hard in the ring. They're both fantastic workers who would put on a wrestling clinic if they were to find their way into a match against one another. AJ may end up being in the WWE for only a few years, and Seth Rollins is definitely a dream opponent for him while he's there. A match with Seth Rollins will give AJ the chance to show what he can do when he's with someone who can keep up with him. Chris Jericho can still go pretty well in the ring, but his matches with AJ felt slow when you consider the style of matches the Phenomenal One usually has. Seth Rollins can keep up with AJ and showcase just how talented both men are. Number 7. Roman Empire's submission to authority. When the title was first vacated, Triple H offered it to Roman Reigns. All Roman had to do was say he'd be Triple H's guy. Roman said no, and the title was made the prize in a tournament. With Seth back and after Triple H, he's going to need to bolster the forces of the authority. Who else is in there now besides himself? Who does he turn to? He goes back to Roman Reigns. Remember folks, Roman Reigns isn't a bad guy, he's not even a good guy, he's the guy. Maybe this time he'll let himself be Triple H's guy. Triple H being so afraid of the wrath of Seth that he has to hire a bodyguard would put Seth over huge and give Roman a ton of heel heat. Seth can make amends with his old friend Dean Ambrose as they come together to take down the monster their former brother has become. We'll see what happens when the guy faces the man. Number 8. Seth can join Simba's party. As we all know that Shane McMahon is back, and if he sticks around long enough could still be around when Seth Rollins returns. If both men are around at the same time, then we could see the two come together. We know that Seth has a penchant for being the henchman of the guy in charge. Shane lost the right to control Raw at WrestleMania, but that doesn't mean he won't get his way at a later date. It could even lead to a great power struggle storyline with Triple H and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Seth Rollins. For added fun, you can throw in a third potential authority figure who invests in Dean Ambrose, and we finally have the Shield triple threat we've wanted for so long. Such a match could even lead to the Shield reunion as the boys decide they don't want any authority figures running Raw, turn on their masters, and lead the WWE to the same anarchy and chaos we witnessed when they first debuted. There's a lot of potential to this kind of angle. Number 9. Join hands with the greatest advocate, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is a fantastic advocate for the Beast incarnate, but with Brock Lesnar having such limited dates, the WWE Universe doesn't see nearly enough of one of the greatest talkers WWE have right now. Seth Rollins may be a very charismatic guy on his own, but there are still reasons to put him with Paul Heyman. There was a time when Paul had a stable going on, and he could do it again. If the WWE do put Heyman and Rollins together, it needs to go better than the last time they put Heyman with someone not called Brock Lesnar. The memory of Paul Heyman and Cesaro still stings as fans think about what could have been. He's also found himself with Curtis Axel and Ryback, and look where they ended up. It's a risky move, but if WWE do it right, there could be a huge payoff for all involved. Number 10. Old character, old habits. Last but not least is the idea that nothing really changes. Seth Rollins comes back and Triple H welcomes him back into the family as if nothing happened. There's nothing really wrong with this kind of booking though, it just means that Seth goes back to being the guy of the authority. Triple H gives him preferential treatment and ensures that Rollins gets his title back as fast as possible, maybe even winning it at SummerSlam as he'll be back around that time. Putting him straight back in the authority may not be the best idea, but it's one that we could see happening. This could even lead to the inevitable turn on Triple H. If you make it last long enough, this could easily become the match for next year's WrestleMania. Not that anyone wants the authority angle to drag on that long, except perhaps Triple H and Vince McMahon. One thing is for sure about the return of Seth Rollins, he needs to come back huge and get involved with something right away. Don't let Seth come back to a big pop and then float around in the mid-card for a while. Find him a place in the main event where he belongs. Let us know if you think you have a better way to book Seth's return. Just drop a comment below. Also, if you like this video, please hit subscribe, and you can see more videos just like this one, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Thank you so much for watching.